everyone, I'm Emily Praska, and today we'll be going over the creation and influence for my myth iteration 1. So this is the image that I was using. The first thing that I did was I put my 2 images up here, and I went to select and then select and mask in order to get here. I used the quick selection tool, the refine edge brush, and the brush tool to clean up the edges and get rid of the background that I did not want. I also used these sliders over here to smoothen out the edges as well. So once I did that, I placed this layer above that layer so that the other photograph would go into the background. I then used the eraser tool and got in pretty close so I could fix up the edges. Before there was, she had a curl here, but I had a really difficult time getting in the middle of it and getting all the color from the original background out, so I ended up just cropping it out of the image altogether. But I did that, and I did the last bit of cleaning up around the edges. And I actually used a lot of adjustment layers. Most of them had to do with brightness. I was just editing the brightness to get where I wanted it. So I had that for exposure. I wanted more of a bright, saturated look, kind of glossy. Now the one that I think had the biggest difference was the color balance. Before it had more of blue hues, and now it's saturated where I wanted it to be. The last thing I did was I used the dodge tool. So I got in pretty close. I'm gonna move this around quick. And I lightened areas on her face. I lightened this piece of her hair so it looked like the light was cascading across her face and making shadows and also highlighting certain parts. I highlighted her nose, and I also highlighted her eyes to make it pop a little bit more. That was my goal of what I was going to do. So I'll show you the original photograph. This was the original. Very dark. Very dark. I wanted to look saturated. I wanted her features to be more prominent. I wanted to look more glossy. I don't know if it'll let me switch over to my Adobe Spark, which is fine, but my influences were photos that looked like that. One of the people that actually inspired me to do a photo like this, her name is Best Dressed on YouTube and Instagram. She posts photos like that all the time. Hers are more posed than this, but I thought this would be a good start. And she is known for her cinematography and thrift flip fashion on YouTube. So she largely inspired the look of the last image. So yeah, that's my myth iteration 1. Thank you for critiquing it, and I'll see you in class. Thank you.